Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into real, practical ways to stay strong, healthy, and energized no matter your age. If you're over 60 or know someone who is, stop what you're doing right now and listen up, because what I'm about to share could completely change how you think about staying fit. Imagine this. You've been lacing up your sneakers every morning, heading out for that brisk walk around the block, feeling pretty good about yourself. You're hitting those 10,000 steps, right? But here's the shocker. Doctors are sounding the alarm that walking alone just isn't cutting it anymore after 60. It's like trying to fix a leaky roof with a Band-Aid. It might help a little, but it's not addressing the real problems brewing underneath. Stick around because today, we're unpacking why that's the case, what the experts are recommending instead, and how you can make simple tweaks to your routine that could add years of vitality to your life. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll be itching to try something new. Let's start by breaking this down. Why exactly are doctors warning against relying solely on walking as we hit our 60s and beyond? Well, it's not that walking is bad, far from it. Walking is fantastic for your heart. It gets you moving, fresh air, maybe even some social time if you're out with a friend. But as we age, our bodies go through some sneaky changes that walking doesn't fully combat. Think about sarcopenia. That's the fancy term for age-related muscle loss. Starting around age 30, we lose about 3 to 5% of our muscle mass every decade, and it ramps up after 60. Walking uses your legs, sure, but it's mostly cardio and doesn't build or maintain that crucial muscle strength. Without it, everyday tasks like carrying groceries, getting up from a chair, or even playing with grandkids become harder. And let's not forget about bone density. Osteoporosis is a real risk, especially for women post-menopause, and while walking provides some weight-bearing benefits, it's not enough to stimulate the kind of bone remodeling that keeps them strong and fracture-proof. I remember chatting with a viewer named Karen in the comments last week. She's 65 and said she's been walking daily for years, but lately, she's noticing more fatigue, a bit of unsteadiness on her feet, and even some joint aches that weren't there before. Sound familiar? That's because walking, while great for endurance, misses out on key areas like balance, flexibility, and upper body strength. Doctors from places like the Mayo Clinic and the American College of Sports Medicine are emphasizing this in their guidelines. They're saying that after 60, we need a more well-rounded approach to prevent falls, which are the leading cause of injury in older adults. One fall can sideline you for months, or worse. So, if walking's your go-to, it's time to level up. But don't worry, I'm not talking about becoming a gym rat or lifting heavy weights like a bodybuilder. We're keeping this realistic, safe, and fun. So, what should you try instead? The big recommendation from experts is to incorporate strength training into your routine. Yeah, I know, weights might sound intimidating if you've never done them before, but hear me out. Strength training doesn't have to mean barbells and sweat-drenched sessions. It can be as simple as using resistance bands, your own body weight, or even cans of soup from your pantry as dumbbells. Why does this matter? Because building muscle not only helps with daily activities but also boosts your metabolism, which tends to slow down with age. That means you burn more calories even at rest, helping manage weight and blood sugar levels. Super important if you're dealing with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, which affects so many over 60. Let me paint a picture for you. Picture starting your day with a 10-minute strength circuit right in your living room. You could do squats to strengthen your legs and glutes. Just lower yourself like you're sitting back into a chair, then stand up. Aim for 10 reps. Follow that with wall push-ups for your chest and arms. Stand facing a wall, hands shoulder-width apart, lean in and push back. No floor required. Then, maybe some seated leg lifts for your core and hips. These moves target multiple muscle groups that walking skips over. And the best part? Studies show that just 2 to 3 sessions a week can increase muscle mass by up to 10% in older adults within months. That's from research published in the Journal of Gerontology, real science backing this up. But strength isn't the only piece of the puzzle. Doctors are also pushing for balance exercises because, let's face it, our sense of stability starts to wobble as we age. Inner ear changes, weaker muscles, even medications can throw us off. Walking on flat sidewalks doesn't challenge your balance much, so adding things like Tai Chi or simple yoga poses can make a world of difference. Tai Chi, for instance, is this gentle, flowing martial art that's like meditation in motion. It's low impact, improves coordination, and reduces fall risk by about 50% according to a meta-analysis in the British Journal of Sports Medicine. You don't need a class. There are free videos online, or just start with standing on one foot while brushing your teeth. Hold for 10 seconds, switch sides. Build up from there. And speaking of yoga, it's another powerhouse for folks over 60. It combines strength, flexibility, and balance all in one. Poses like downward dog or warrior one stretch tight muscles that walking might tighten up, like your hamstrings or calves. Plus, it helps with joint mobility, which is key for avoiding arthritis flare-ups. I had a subscriber, Mike, who's 72, tell me he started chair yoga. Yep, you can do it all seated if mobility is an issue, and within weeks, he felt more limber and less stiff in the mornings. Doctors love this because it also calms the mind, reducing stress hormones that can wreak havoc on your immune system as you age. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but what about cardio? Isn't walking still important? Absolutely. The point isn't to ditch walking, it's to enhance it. Think of walking as your base, then layer on these other elements. Maybe turn your walk into a functional fitness adventure. Add intervals where you speed up for 30 seconds, then slow down. That's high-intensity interval training, or HIIT, adapted for seniors. It spikes your heart rate, improves cardiovascular health better than steady walking, and can even help with cognitive function, keeping your brain sharp to ward off things like dementia. The CDC recommends at least 150 minutes of moderate activity a week, but mixing in vigorous bursts makes it more effective. Let's talk about flexibility for a sec, because it's often overlooked. After 60, our tendons and ligaments lose some elasticity, leading to that creaky feeling. Walking doesn't stretch you out much, so dedicated stretching or activities like Pilates can fill that gap. Pilates focuses on core strength and controlled movements, great for posture, which prevents back pain. Imagine ending your day with a 5-minute stretch routine. Reach for your toes, or as far as you can, roll your shoulders, twist gently side to side. It feels amazing and helps recovery from other exercises. Of course, nutrition plays a huge role here too, since you can't out-exercise a bad diet. Doctors warn that without enough protein, all that strength training won't do much good. Aim for 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight. That's about 70 to 90 grams a day for a 150-pound person. Think eggs, Greek yogurt, lean meats, beans, or nuts. And don't skimp on calcium and vitamin D for those bones, dairy, leafy greens, sunlight. Hydration is key too. Dehydration hits harder as we age, affecting energy and joint health. But let's be real, starting new habits after 60 can feel daunting. Maybe you've got arthritis, a bad knee, or just low motivation. That's why doctors stress starting slow and consulting your physician first, especially if you have health conditions. Begin with 10 to 15 minutes a day, 3 times a week. Listen to your body. If something hurts, stop and modify. Use apps or YouTube channels, like this one, for guided routines tailored to seniors. And find a buddy. Exercising with a spouse or friend makes it stick. One common pitfall I see is overdoing it right out the gate. People hear about strength training and grab heavy weights, then end up sore or injured. Nope, form over everything. Focus on controlled movements, breathe properly, exhale on the effort, and progress gradually. Another mistake, ignoring recovery. After 60, we need more rest days. Sleep 7 to 9 hours, maybe add foam rolling or gentle walks on off days. The payoffs? They're huge. Not just physical, stronger muscles, better balance, fewer aches, but mental too. Exercise releases endorphins, fights depression, and boosts confidence. You'll feel more independent, able to travel, garden, or chase after pets without worry. Long-term, it lowers risks for heart disease, stroke, and even some cancers. A study in the New England Journal of Medicine found that adults over 60 who did mixed training lived longer and healthier than those who just walked. Wrapping this up, remember, walking is a great start, but after 60, it's time to evolve your routine. Add strength, balance, flexibility, and a dash of intensity. Your body will thank you with more energy, resilience, and joy. If this resonated, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe for more tips, and drop a comment below. What's one new thing you're going to try this week? Check the description for free beginner routines and links to studies. Stay strong, stay moving. I'll see you in the next video.